Now this is pure wax, there's no wire in it.
Yeah,
That's what you want?
Yes.
Okay, be sure.
Yes, because
I
that's
don't
what
like the wire.
Yeah,
That's what Dad don't either, yeah.
He said, you ain't gonna like that wire, Nikki. This is our first beehive, and he's been helping me with everything.
My daddy's been a beekeeper since he's 15. He's 74 now, so.
He don't have quite as many as
Well, he don't anymore. Yeah, what's your name, sir?
Walter. He don't have as much as Walter, but he's got several.
Walter Johnson's. We're at Walter Johnson's bee place off 226. And it's real pretty there. It's right at the kind of the just south of where the I-40 Fortune Road's what it's called, isn't it, out here?
You're the only one that's open during here. Show his face.
On Saturdays.
This is the advertisement for him. Show his
Yeah.
face.
So he's got the. We were looking for 8.
He does commercials.
Yeah, I do. I work for the hospital system. So he does 8 frame and 10 frame, and look like all the various different sizes you need here. Do you build these, Walter?
It's all factory, I just
Factory.
assemble.
I see.
You want good equipment, you want to maintain it.
I love that they're painted.
Yeah, they're painted and look nice.
The other ones that are-
This is out back, all the different hives he's got.
First coat on this house or oil-based primer. That takes about an hour to go with latex. Because wood needs that oil.
Well, we need these. We'll come back and get suits. I don't have a suit. I just wear my hat and gloves. But I think I'm
Always
gonna
wear a
be a suit.
veil anytime you're in your yard.
You know.
They can be gentle, but if they ever get you in the eye, you never know when.
Yeah, it could
I've got
happen.
my veil on, and I wear a coat and my gloves.
If I walk in the yard, I put a veil on.
Do you?
It just takes one time. My grandson took his off one day after work with him. They had closed his eye.
Wow.
He just come in here to talk to me. I pulled his veil off.
Well, I'm sort of allergic to them, so I need, and I like to shoot video of her and my daddy working, so I need to get me a veil too. Then I reckon.
Well, yeah, show the hives. Show the hives out here.
Yeah, well, I did a little bit. I'm gonna step back out here again. I'll look at them. Tell people to come. See, here's all of Walter's hives. Looks like he's got just a bunch. A nice little place here. It's small. He's got little ponds, all kinds of different fruit trees and stuff. Grapes over there. And it was, it's not as fancy as Moravian Falls, but he's got a good little supply of stuff here.
Yeah, the started playing heavy this year, but we're worried about the rains knocking everything off.
Well, I'm gonna put this on today. I'm gonna see if I can't put it on there. Go out there and put this on.
Yep.
They've done that room, they'll decide to swarm on it.
I know. They've already been outside the hive, just kind of sitting there, and I'm like, I gotta put another one on.
Yeah, the other day, it looked like 1,000 of them sitting outside your hive, just parked on the little ramp there. Walter, how long have you been doing bees?
Since I started bees when I was 10 years old.
10 years old.
But when I retired from Dana, I just went into bees because I've always had them.
So you work for Dana Corporation?
Yeah, until I retired.
Yeah. So this is what you do full time now?
This is a retirement job.
Yeah. But let me ask you this: do you think there's a lot more people doing honey now, or less? Is it getting to be a kind of lost art, or what?
You get a lot of new people, but I've seen a lot of new people after 3 years quit.
Yeah.
It's harder than it used to be.
Yeah. And why do you think that is?
There's a lot more problems with bees. The pollution is worse.
Yeah.
Before we had the mites, you always had honey. Yeah. Always. You didn't never have to feed them.
Yeah.
No treatment. It was just so much better back then.
When we've not had to do, we've not encountered a problem yet. We just bought our bees back in the spring, and so far we haven't had to deal with mites or anything like that. But
you will need to treat this fall.
This fall.
Yeah, and I know everybody wants to stay away from chemicals, but they have a new stuff out we tried last year. It's all natural. Yeah. It only takes 1 week. You don't even have to take your honey supers off.
Really?
Costs you $6 to treat a hive.
And we have to do it when you do that in the fall.
Yeah.
What time would you reckon? Like October?
September, 1st October.
So remember
because
that.
if it gets like over 90, you'd have to take this medicine off. It would kill the bees. But it's so good it will kill mites on the bee and the brood before they ever hatch out.
Really?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. What's it called?
Mite Away Quick Strips.
Mite Away Quick Strips.
We're gonna be coming. Do you sell it here?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be coming back.
My grandson used it down on James Webb last year. He had about 40 hives, and he went down there next day and he said the bottom boards were covered with dead mites. That's a quick kill. It killed both of them.
Wow.
But you don't have to take your supers off. That's what's nice. And it only takes 1 week. Put it on one Saturday, take it off the next. And some beekeepers just leave it and let the bees carry it out. But that's what worked for them. so I like to take it off.
Well, we'll have to get informed from you about how this works exactly, because
I've read about it.
Have you read about it?
Yeah, but we'll come back and get some.
So I used to fog my bees with mineral oil and thymol because that's natural. This stuff is so much better. But the fogging, I had to do it like every week for 6 weeks. And it's just too much. You miss a time or two. Last year I didn't get them at all. And we had quite a few losses. So this year we're going to use this stuff and be done with it.
Well, I'm sure glad we got to know
When
you.
it's time to do that, I'm going to come back and we're going to ask you about it. We'll get some and put it on there. Well, when it's time to do it.
Well, I'm real tickled kind of my wife has got into it because it's fun to watch. I can understand why my daddy's always enjoyed doing it. And it's really helped our garden. Boy, we got a nice little garden, brother. Yeah, what is the lift test? What do you tell us? Because we're brand new. What do you mean by that?
You go behind the hive and just barely pick it up. It should feel like a 5-gallon bucket full of water. That's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
You'll know immediately if it's light. And if it's light, you've got to start feeding right then. There's a lot of bees in those hives and they're going to start using their stores up early. And when they do that, they starve out early.
See, that's just
So start getting them sugar water then in the early fall.
Do the lift test and you'll know you need to feed. And of course, one thing you might want to do this fall is give a little bit of that fumigate bee. It is an antibiotic, but it's the only thing that'll stop that nosema. And there's a new nosema going around now that you won't see the signs that the old had, where there's spots all over the hive.
Yeah.
It's very contagious. It will kill your bees.
And see, we've got to. That was one of my questions. Like, when do I start feeding them? Now that's a cool trick to do, to know when to feed them the sugar water in the fall.
But when you start your treatment, you want to do that lift test.
And it should feel about you say you feel like about as heavy as a 5-gallon bucket of water.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
You'll know it, Peter, when you start lifting a hive, all of a sudden this is light. Like I said, he almost flipped when he said, because they were all heavy until he got the one that was real light and when he
Okay.
really came up.
I had never heard that, so I've learned some stuff
Every
today.
beekeeper has to do that in the fall year if you want to have your bees in the spring.
We appreciate meeting you. I'm